Pwede. Bali ano siya, $1,000. Ayan. Okay. So, ano lang Ricky, pag hindi na rin. Okay. Almi, pag nawala ako, sabihin mo lang.
Yes.
Okay, sige. So, para sa financial wellness, sa age natin, ang gusto ko lang i-share, a combination of the practical and the spiritual. Gusto ko kasi maging applicable sa buhay talaga natin ngayon. So, pag sa financial wellness, given our age, parang gusto kong gabayan tayo na sundin ang more as a framework. Mindset, outcomes, reasons, and evidences. Mindset muna. Sharing tayo tungkol sa mindset ha. Ang request ko, pwede bang pakitype sa chat box yung mga sagot nyo? Okay, unang tanong. Para sa inyo, ano ba ang tingin nyo sa pera? Pwede bang pakitype sa chat box? Ano ang pera para sa inyo? Okay. Pakitype sa chat box. Children, pakitype sa chat box. What is money for you? Pakisulat po sa chat box. What is money for you? A means to bless others. Pangbili ng kailangan. Nice. Sige. Ano ang money for you? Tool to help achieve goals. Galing. Gandang sagot. Yung iba, pakisulat po ng sagot. Lang right to wrong answer. Subukan nyo lang na. Okay.
Bulok na.
The others, pakisagot ba?
Wrong spelling yata
Okay. Sino pa hindi sumasagot?
Ako po, kina-type.
Ang
May
hirap
ginagawa.
Hindi na marunong mag-type. Baka wrong spelling.
May ginagawa.
To buy essentials. Okay. Next question. Marami kasi to kaya diretso lang ng type sa chat box ha. Para sa iyo, ano naman ang ibig sabihin ng buhay? What is life? What is
Father,
life?
yung akin super dami din na. Super dami dumi.
Okay na.
So, super dami dumi.
To buy necessities to support other people.
Nagtapon. Sorry. Yung isa po kasi, actually, mamaya i-deduce ko.
Ate Fe, mag-silent ka muna, Ate Fe.
Sorry.
A journey to leave a legacy. Life is a blessing. Si Fair. Okay. Venue to use
Choppy ka, saves.
sources. Money, a tool, or property.
Save na wala ka save.
Text ko na nawala siya.
Pati yung sharing niya, no? Chu, ang tanong ni Xavier kanina, ano ang tingin mo sa money at saka sa life? Yan.
Oh, yung money ang first, di ba?
Number
Second
1 is
yung life.
money. Yes, please. Okay. Chat box na lang po.
Thank you.
While waiting. Hi, Liz. Good morning. Weng, good morning.
Morning.
Hindi ako sanay ng Weng. Owen yan. Si Owen.
Owen. Owen the Saint. Oo nga pala.
Good morning.
Almi, kamusta na sila, Irma? So,
Doing good na. Sabi ng doktor, getting better
Okay.
sila. Oo, maganda naman. Home quarantine
good.
lang. Oo, nice to hear din. Na ano lang talaga. Makakagulat lang din no?
yeah. Vaccinated ba sila?
Si Susan, a day after ng vaccination niya, doon nagmanifest yung kanyang symptoms. Before vaccination, wala.
3 days after.
3 days, okay. Tapos yun na-contaminate na din si Irma. Same condo kasi sila
At saka hindi sila nagmamask sa bahay kasi nga hindi nila inisip na kailangan.
Nagko-commute ba si
Si
Susan?
Ate Sue.
Oo. Na-message mo na, Ricky?
Oo, baka naghanap ng signal pa.
Sorry, nakakat.
It's okay.
Paki-enable na lang uli ng screen share.
Mag-minto muna tayo.
Dito.
Okay lang.
Okay na.
Sige, salamat. Okay. So parang yung mga questions natin, parang I'd like to invite you to answer them for your own reflection and for your own use, no? Para sa ating financial wellness. Given nga our age, magandang pagnilayan natin to para maggabayan tayo. Sige, babalik lang ako dun sa ating screen. Okay, balik lang ako. Okay. So sa financial wellness, yan tungkol sa view natin what money is, what life is about, what is success, what is a career, and what is faith. Box na ano yung mga reflection nyo, buhay, anong tagumpay, anong career, anong happiness, anong family, and ano ang pananampalataya. In a financial wellness, it all begins with mindset. Ano ang tingin natin dito? Halimbawa, share ko lang sa inyo, ang ganda ng answer kanina ni Mia, no? That money is looked at simply as a tool. Hindi siya ang end, it's just a means for something else. Tapos depende rin sa tingin natin sa buhay, no? Parang 'di ba pag if you look at the Bible, sabi dun sa Bible, we were invited to live life and live life into its fullness. So, ano ibig sabihin ng buhay? Ito ibig sabihin ng fullness. And for that matter, maganda pagnilayan, ano ibig sabihin ng success? Kasi depende sa definition natin yan, dun din yung mag-define ng goals natin sa ating financial wellness, etc. Okay, so mindset. So share ko lang yung mga biblical view tungkol sa finances. Tatlo siya, and I'd like to invite us, ano ba dyan ang attitude natin tungkol sa wealth? Poverty ba, prosperity, or stewardship? sa Biblia, pwede mo tingnan ang money from a poverty mindset. Usually, yan yung mga tipo. So, yan yung usually sa poverty na parang nagle-let go, no? Yung poverty. Yung prosperity naman, working towards it. Working towards it. Yun naman stewardship, tinitingnan lang talaga na whatever we have is just entrusted to us. So, depende yon. Kaya, pwede mong tingnan yung possession na curse and you let it go. Kaya yung may mga vow poverty, no? Letting go. Pwede rin yung prosperity, you work for it and so suddenly it's a right. Pero yung isang view that I like to propose is that it is a privilege, no? Talagang parang sagot yung kanina, biyaya siya. It's a privilege. So, I like to propose the spirituality of stewardship, no? Para sa atin. Lalo na sa community ng Yuppeace, no? Okay. So, yan yung mga views about poverty, prosperity, and stewardship. So, depende sa stage din ng buhay, nandun din yung pananaw natin tungkol sa wealth, no, or financial wellness. Kung gusto nyo, you can take note of some scripture references about these mindsets. No? Pwede nyo tingnan yung Luke 18 to 22, yung hinamon na sell and give to the poor. Yan yung poverty. Prosperity, may certain stage sa buhay natin na dinadaanan natin yan. Palagi ko na dinaanan natin sa career natin. You ask, seek, and knock. Pero yung stewardship is parable of the talents. Kung ano man ang meron tayo, we're being invited to be stewards to multiply the talent that we have. So, ito yung mga statements para gawing mas practical yung pananaw na yun from the Bible. Pag sa poverty, medyo carefree siya. No? Kapag may vow poverty, malaya lang. Parang naalala ko nung nasa loob ako, gigising ako, alam ko lang may kakainin ako. Matutulog ako, alam ko lang meron ako matutulugan. Yun yung carefree. Yung prosperity, driven. Lalo na nung mid-career natin na talagang driven sa career. Pero yung stewardship, faithful lang. Ang kinakapitan ay pananampalataya. So, kanina, mindset. Ngayon naman yung outcomes. I think mahalaga na isipin natin ano ba yung pinaka-target outcome natin sa ating financial management. Maraming sagot dito. Ito yung tatlong madalas na sagot. Ang isang objective ng isang financial wellness ay financial freedom. Yung gusto mong umabot sa punto na malaya ka. Pag sinabing financial freedom, usually yan, no? Debt-free, walang loan, walang utang, hindi kinakabahan, walang takot. Ang isang metric niyan yung pag may nakita kang gusto ka, kaya mo siyang bilhin na hindi ka nag-aalala. That's one metric, no? And the other metric is yung hindi ka nag-aalala sa loans or payables. That's financial freedom. Yung isa naman is actualizing dreams. Valid outcome din yan. Kasi kung may pangarap ka, gusto mo mangyari yon. And so sa actualizing dreams, posibleng may loan yan. Pwede ka nang hiram kasi gusto mo ma-actualize yung pangarap mo. Lalo na kung pamilya, no? Gusto mo magkabahay, gusto mo magkasasakyan, gusto mo bigyan ng magandang kinabukasan at humiram ng loan, no? O yun yung actualizing dream na outcome. Yung isa pa ay helping others. Ito naman yung mga tipong kahit wala ay may mission siyang tulong. Kilala mo si Jackie Chua, tama? Ricky?
Sorry, ano?
Kilala mo si Jackie Chua, tama?
Yes, Jackie Chua.
Jackie, oh. Jackie Chua, isang example ng target outcome, no? A very concrete example. Si Jackie ay, kung tatanungin mo siya how much money you have in your wallet, siguro hindi pa yun naabot ng 1,000 or 2,000 pesos. Hindi. Magpakain sa mga preso sa mundo. Kaya 300 would spend something like 50,000 in one room.
Happy ka.
Kasi kaya niya mag-post sa Facebook ng paghingi ng tulong para sa mga preso. Yun yung target outcome niya. So wala man siyang pera, yun naman yung target outcome niya. So depende sa target outcome mo, no? Para sa financial wellness. Tapos siguro yung R, ito magandang pag-isipan. Ano yung pinakadahilan natin why we are trying to achieve that outcome? Na bakit mo gusto yung outcome na yun? Pwedeng desired status, no? Halimbawa, ako galing ako sa mahirap, gusto ko maging mayaman, parang gano'n. Desired status yon. O pwede rin gusto mo maging payapa kasi dumaan ka sa isang stressful na episode ng buhay mo. O kaya should siya, no? Expectation. Sa lipunan natin, hierarchy status ay kapag ka, dapat ganito, may dapat diba? So, yun. Nasaktan ka, na better. Or pwedeng naghahanap ka ng hulugan, no? Evolve self. So, siguro at this point, I'd like to invite everyone din to think about that, no? Ano yung pinaka-bakit natin in earning or parang para saan yung financial goals natin? So, yan. Ito yung mga pag-isipan natin about stewardship, about growing, serving, and giving. So, pag sinabing stewardship, pagnilayan natin yung pagbigay, pagtanggap, tsaka pag-manage. Pag pagbigay, pwede tithing, no? May mga kaibigan talaga ako na matindi yung tithing nila. So, halimbawa, sa grupo ng XIA, mga more than 20 plus kami, minsan if we release some gifts, some honorarium, some professional fees, nagugulat ako may nagde-deposit back ng 10%, no? Na-amaze ako, and that's tithing, no? May mga ganun talaga. So that's giving. Sa receiving naman, yung pagtanggap na nagpapasalamat agad sa dasal na naniniwala na ang natanggap ay biyaya talaga. And then managing, yung pinaka-practical, syempre yung tinitingnan din yung value for money. Sulit, no? Hindi nagpawagas lang. So, may mga common errors sa financial plan. Pagkakas natin to. Minsan nagdepende tayo ay pwedeng i-mute muna natin. Yan. Okay. So, may procrastination, yung bang may investment opportunity pero dinedelay. Pag dinedelay natin ng isang investment opportunity, that's an opportunity loss. So kahit hindi nasa yung pera, nawala yung pera na sana kinita. So tandaan natin yun sa procrastination. Isa rin pagkakamali siguro with regard to financial wellness ay walang goal. Walang financial goal. Mahalaga may financial goal tayo. Like a target of savings, a target of investment, o may insurance ka at a certain age, etc. So mahalaga may goal para may gabay. Yung failure to involve a partner, no? Lalo na sa mga married dito, no? Although konti lang yung married sa grupong ito, no? Yung mahalaga yung involvement ng partner or spouse in terms of the financial goal. Yung big picture, laging tinitingnan sana yung big picture. What is this spending investment for? Yan, big picture. The other is yung diversification. Unang-una, mahalaga may iba-ibang sources of income, hindi lang isa, kasi pag bumagsak yung isang source of income, delikado na ang lahat. At kung may natanggap naman, mahalaga naka-place o naka-invest in many kinds, no? So hindi lang time deposit, magandang sana may real estate, sana may insurance, sana may stock, halo-halo, hindi pwedeng isa lang din. Yung impatience, yung umaasa mabilis ang return, delikado rin yun, no? Kasi sa isang financial investment, it really takes time. So huwag tayong maging impatient. Yung isa pa, yung minamanage natin yung liquidity and flexibility of our assets. Hindi pwedeng lahat nasa fixed asset na ang tagal. Pag may emergency, mahirap ma-convert into cash. So, mahirap din lahat ay liquid o madaling ma-convert sa cash. Mababa ang return. So, dapat meron ding long term. The next is risk management. No? The reality is that we will not be healthy forever. magkakaroon tayo ng health concern. So mahalagang napaplano din natin yun. Sunod, yung takot, no? Yung fear. Kalaban talaga yan ng financial wellness din. While we have that, dapat na ma-manage siya. Isa pang misconception na kapag mas may pera tayo, mas masaya tayo. It doesn't follow. It can help, but it doesn't follow. Kaya mahalagang maliwanag yung goals natin. So, ingat natin itong mga experiences na to kasi ito yung tinatawag na financial bondage, no? Takot, loss of sleep, bitterness, etc. So, yun yung mga ano. So, ito papadala ko na lang ito yung mga how to become financially free. So, anong mga evidences kapag nagbubunga yung investment, kapag aligned sa goals natin at nag-grow din tayo? So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng financial wellness? Una, may control tayo sa month-to-month or day-to-day finances natin. Pangalawa, may capacity tayo to absorb a financial shock. Halimbawa, may emergency o may nangyari, kaya absorb financially well. Let's try to work towards that. The next is that kaya nating ma-meet yung financial goals natin, that we are on track. And finally, yun nga, may financial freedom. Yun naman yung pinaka-ultimate goal ng financial wellness. Sa klase ng buhay na meron tayo, no? Pwede first job, happens, may emergency, nagkaroon ng change sa buhay natin, may tayo, no? Sa retirement, mga retirement mode tayo. So, how do you go about the financial planning process? Siyempre, organize all the data that you have, try to identify nga your financial goal, ano yung mga competing financial priorities natin. So, ang basic step ay talagang develop mo na your financial picture, identify, and achieve, yung medyo quick wins lang yung achievable, practical financial. Huwag mo nang masyadong malaki kagad na maging kasing yaman ni Heidi Bongon o ni Almi Nugit. Mahirap yun. Baby steps lang. Try to target muna yung practical. Tapos priority. Ito yung mga practical tips na lang for us. No? Save. Mag-save talaga tayo. Set aside funds. Before the pandemic, the formula is dapat meron kang nakatabing 6 months worth of a budget for expense. Yung bang kahit wala kang kita, mabubuhay ka ng 6 na buwan. Yan ang target savings. Kaya lang, technically, because of the pandemic, the new formula is 12 months. Ibig sabihin, 1 taon. Kahit wala kang kita, mabubuhay ka. Ano yun? Yung barest minimum, computein mo yun. May makakain ka, may pambayad ng bahay, ng kuryente, at ng tubig. Yun. Yun yung minimum. So, pero okay na muna siguro kahit 6 months. Kung hindi pa kaya ang 12 months, 6 months. Computein mo yun. So, halimbawa, kung 300 pesos a day yan, times 30, 9,000. Times 6, times 9, 54. So, sabihin mo na lang 60,000. No? 10,000 naman. Dapat may nakatabing ganun. Next ay investment. Start small. Check mo yung track record ng investment and ask around, lalo na yung mga may experience, mas mahalaga yun. And then finally, diversify your income, no? Iba-ibang kita. May part-time gig, may small business, may stock. Yan. Tapos sa contingency planning, kung may emergency, mahalaga talaga may HMO, may insurance, may savings. Pero syempre yung preventive maintenance doon, yung health, no? Investment in health. And then make sure merong mga liquid assets nga for contingency plan. So yun, I like to stop there kasi feeling ko mahalaga to para sa atin. So ang gawin natin siguro, let's have Ricky, baka kaya bang mag 3 breakout rooms? Magkwentuhan lang about financial concerns, wellness, and how we view from our own practice of spirituality. Lalo sa Yuppeace, ang practice kasi natin, simplicity. So that is a key to financial wellness. So yung simpleng pamumuhay. So Ricky, naman ng 3 breakout rooms.
4. Mas is 4.
Okay, 4. Sige, 4.
Okay na? I-start ko na?
Start tayo and then let's share for 15 minutes tas balik tayo.
Okay.
questions to to ponder.
Ang reflection point natin yun, no, yung more. Ano ang mindset natin tungkol sa financial matters? What's our mindset? Ano ba yung target outcomes natin? What's a reason? And ano yung mga evidences natin? So more. Mindset, outcome, reason, and evidence. So example lang, no? Ako, mindset ko tungkol sa pera talaga. Tool of trade lang yan. Hindi yan yung end all and be all natin. Ginagamit lang natin siya pero hindi siya ang dapat na hari mo. That's a mindset. Outcome, gusto ko na talaga payapang buhay, parang peaceful. Reason ko doon, matanda na, parang wala na ako ambition sa buhay. At ang evidence siguro, proven that peaceful people live simple lives and are very happy. So, parang ganun lang na sharing yung more. Mindset, outcome, reason, and evidence. So, sa breakout room, share lang kayo tungkol doon. Tapos, let's try to support one another, no, about that. So, let's begin our breakout room, Ricky.
Okay.
Thanks, Prof.
Tama.
Mindset.
More.
Ipunin para ma-partner niya yung nagawa ni mama niya para ma-achieve yung goals niya. So far sa amin, lahat ng mindset naman is, I think, hindi siya yung parang hindi sinamba si money. Lahat para siya gamitin. Hindi yung maging alipin din ng money. Wala naman ganun. Lahat din para makatulong. Pero ang isang napansin ko is talagang gagamitin din si money para pang protect ng future. Kaya sila may mga investment either sa insurance, life insurance, or property, tsaka ano nga yung isa? Retirement, at saka yung para sa health. Yan. So, mga pinagplanuhan din yun dahil like si Vince, meron siyang anak na papaaralin. So, para sa kanya, financial manager niya is si Apple. Tama ng name. Okay, tapos, yun. So, all in all din, gusto lang namin magkaroon ng buhay na hindi, ang tawag doon, hindi maging alipin ng money. Yun. Tama ba, Ricky?
Tama. Dugtong lang ako isa kay Neng, isa sinabi ni Vince na may tingin ko lahat is dahil sa Yuppeace natuto natin yung simplicity of life. So medyo mababa yung Next. Thank you. Thank you, Neng.
Salamat. Kaya maganda yun. Maganda yung parang ultimate reflection natin yung simplicity. Kaya yung title ng talk ngayon nga ay more of less. Yung parang the more na less ng less yung needs natin, yung desires natin, consumption natin, mas financially better tayo. Yung parang imbis na bili ka ng bagong damit, bagong sapatos, kung pabawas ng pabawas yung binibili mo na itatabi mo. Or parang less and less desire of things. Kaya more of less. So salamat. Simplicity talaga yung nakaka-save sa atin. Okay, let's go to the group of Irene. Sino ang sharer sa group nyo, Irene?
Si Irene? Is Irene with us?
Wala.
Wala. O sige. Sa grupo ni Liz, Heidi, Marilu, Rowena, Camille. Sino sharer sa inyo?
Mukhang ako.
Yay, very good.
Okay, so sa amin, nasa iba't ibang phase kami ng buhay. Yung iba mga retirees, yung iba tawag dito nagwo-work pa for earning. Pero following the mindset or the more, ito yung summary namin. So ang summary is, which everyone agrees, is ang mindset about money is a medium of exchange. Ang outcome is to really to help others, pero ang lumulutang dyan is to have security and financial freedom para wala kang stress na what will you be doing or how will you live. And then ang reason is some of us are still searching for the right reason or para lang to live the life to the fullest. Parang may marami pang gustong maabot sa buhay, pero ang reason talaga na nangingibabaw, lalo na ngayong pandemic, is to really be healthy. Yon. And then the expectation on money is very malakas yung to live a simple and happy life, and the future is in God's hand. Na yon. Talagang the team would also siguro agree that simplicity is key, kasi nga the more simple, that the less money that you need to buy things. And the evidence is that yun nga, nabubuhay ang karamihan kahit walang income, lalo yung mga retirees. And ang isang naging answer doon kung bibili or gagastos is, do you really need it or you just want it? Yung ganon. Yun po.
Ganda, ang ganda ng sharing. Ang yaman-yaman, it practically completes, no, yung mga answers. I'll share with you a quick video for our reference, no. Sorry. Maganda lang na parang related dun sa shinare ng grupong ito yung mga sinabi ng video na to. So I'd like to share this with you as a reference, no, moving forward. So pakita ko lang to.
We all know that saving is important and it's something that we should be doing. And yet overall, we're doing less and less of it. We know what we need to do. The question is, how do we do it? And that's what I'm here to teach you. Your savings behavior isn't a question of how smart you are or how much willpower you have. The amount we save depends on the environmental cues around us. Let me give you an example. We ran a study in which, in one group, we showed people their income on a monthly basis. In another group, we showed people their income on a weekly basis. And what we found was that people who saw their income on a weekly basis were able to budget better throughout the month. Now, it's important to know that we didn't change how much money people were receiving. We just changed the environment in which they understood their income. And environmental cues like this have an impact. So I'm not going to share tricks with you that you already know. I'm not going to tell you how to open up a savings account or how to start saving for your retirement. What I am going to share with you is how to bridge this gap from your intentions to save and your actions. Are you ready? Here's number 1. Harness the power of pre-commitment. Fundamentally, we think about ourselves in 2 different ways. Our present self and our future self. In the future, we're perfect. In the future, we're going to save for retirement, we're going to lose weight, we're going to call our parents more. But we oftentimes forget that our future self is exactly the same person as our present self. We know that one of the best times to save is when you get your tax return. So we tried an A/B test. In the first group, we texted people in early February, hopefully before they even filed for their taxes. And we asked them, if you get a tax refund, what percentage would you like to save? Now, this is a really hard question. They didn't know if they would receive a tax refund or how much, but we asked the question anyway. In the second group, we asked people right after they received their refund, what percentage would you like to save? Now, here's what happened. In that second condition, when people just received their tax refund, they wanted to save about 17% of their tax refund. But in the condition when we asked people before they even filed their taxes, savings rates increased from 17% to 27% when we asked in February. Why? Because you're committing for your future self. And of course, your future self can save 27%. These large changes in savings behavior came from the fact that we changed the decision-making environment. We want you to be able to harness that same power. So take a moment and think about the ways in which you can sign up your future self for something that you know today will be a little bit hard. Sign up for an app that lets you make savings decisions in advance. The trick is you have to have that binding contract. Number 2, use transition moments to your advantage. We did an experiment with a website that helps older adults share their housing. We ran 2 ads on social media targeted to the same population of 64-year-olds. In one group, we said, hey, you're getting older. Are you ready for retirement? House sharing can help. In a second group, we got a little bit more specific. It said, you're 64 turning 65. Are you ready for retirement? House sharing can help. What we're doing in that second group is highlighting that a transition is happening. All of a sudden, we saw click-through rates and ultimately sign-up rates increase when we highlight that. In psychology, we call this the fresh start effect. Whether it's the start of a new year or even a new season, your motivation to act increases. So right now, put a meeting request on your calendar for the day before your next birthday. Identify the one financial thing you most want to do and commit yourself to it. The third and final trick, get a handle on small, frequent purchases. We run a few different studies and found that the number one purchase people say they regret after bank fees is eating out. It's a frequent purchase we make almost every day and is death by 1,000 cuts. A coffee here, a burrito there, it adds up and decreases our ability to save. Back when I lived in New York City, I looked at my expenses and saw that I spent over $2,000 on ride-sharing apps. It was more than my New York City rent. I vowed to make a change. And the next month, I spent $2,000 again. No change, because the information alone didn't change my behavior. I didn't change my environment. So now that I was $4,000 in the hole, I did 2 things. The first is that I unlinked my credit card from my car sharing apps. Instead, I linked a debit card that only had $300 a month. If I needed more, I had to go through the whole process of adding a new card. And we know that every click, every barrier, changes our behavior. We aren't machines. We don't carry around an abacus every day, adding up what we're spending in comparison to what we wanted. But what our brains are very good at is counting out the number of times we've done something. So I gave myself a limit. I can only use ride-sharing apps 3 times a week. It forced me to ration my travels. I got a handle on my car sharing expenses to the benefit of my husband because of the environmental changes that I did. So get a handle on whatever that purchase is for you and change your environment to make it harder to do so. Those are my tips for you. But I want you to remember one thing. As human beings, we can be irrational when it comes to saving and spending and budgeting. But luckily, we know this about ourselves and we can predict how we'll act under certain environments. Let's do that with saving. Let's change our environment to help our future selves.
At yung environment na yun, para sa atin, hopefully, ang environment natin, yung
Background.
simplicity. So,
Background pa.
Yuppeace simplicity is our environment. So, for the final sharing, I'd like to call Almi. Almi with the pearls and the lipstick. Walang kilay. Almi. Si Almi. Naglalagay kasi ng kilay. Pinansin nyo kasi yung kilay eh.
Hindi po, meron lang po kumatok sa pintuan, walang magbubukas. Sorry po.
Okay.
Ako po ba?
Ikaw ang si-share.
Sorry.
For our group?
Yes.
Okay.
Personal sharing.
Ano?
Joke.
Hindi, ano yan, bigla ako nawala. Sorry. Earlier, si Vernie was mentioning about the savings, tapos yung money, hindi naman natin siya ginustong maging parang Diyos-Diyosan. But I would want to have more inputs from Bong kasi his sharing and he himself is such a good example for all of us. Bong, your floor?
Oo nga, maganda yung sharing ni Bong. Bong, pa-share na lang nung summary na na-share mo kanina.
Sayang yung Amerikano mo.
Hindi ko naman. Yung I think I shared about yung una yung sa mindset. Although, sabi ko na-share ko nga sa group, although medyo late ko na yung mindset ng financial wellness and planning, no? But I will still be able to natuloy-tuloy pa rin. And I think same with the group, no? Ganun din yung sharing and ngayon, try to sustain it. hopefully, yung pag ng wellness is something na look at it as parang hindi, yun nga, parang yung sharing din sa iba na it's a means going to an end. And na-mention na rin to ng mga nag-share na at sa pinaka-core nung financial wellness is yung which we learned sa Yuppeace, which we are all being thankful for, yung sa simplicity in terms of decision making, in terms of may bibiling ka, in terms of lifestyle. Parang pag when parang pinalo natin siya, it changes a lot of things from the mindset pa lang, and by doing it actual, parang there's a lot of difference in terms of pag kinumpare mo yung cost ng branded to non-branded, example, di ba, mga ganun. So, malaki talaga yung tulong. So, I think that's one of the parang isa sa mga sharing na parang everybody has parang the same in terms doon sa simplicity. Yun. And one of the other I can add is, sabi ko sana na natin na sana for me, I've learned about financial wellness as early as I can, hopefully elementary or high school pa lang, rather than after while you are working na. So yun. So one of the things I'm looking forward to in the future is teaching the kids the value of money, not in the sense of yung sabi nga ni Save, na tinitingnan mo siya as parang iba, but looking at it as in a perspective about yung last Save, yung last stewardship, parang lang. So ang feeling ko as a father na parang although hindi mo naman pwedeng gawin siya sa kids na you do it talaga ganito, ganyan. Parang it's more of ma-encourage mo na siya ay mabigay mo na yung value sa kanya at an early age and how to look at it. And konti-konti as they grow old and depends to grow this, and then hopefully they can have the financial wellness as early as they can. And when they're on their own, hopefully, as a parent and as a guardian or they would, parang sa generation natin, hopefully they would be much better position or something when they look at the value of money. So yun ang share. Thank you.
Salamat, Bong. And I guess kung titingnan nyo, parang pinaka-common sharing natin yung tinuro sa atin ng Yuppeace, yung Virtue of Simplicity. Again, the title of More of Less, yun yung target natin. Salamat, Bong. I'd like to just end na present na yung more of less ang pwedeng guide natin sa mindset as a final sharing. Ewan ko, palaging pananaw ko lang talaga na all is gift, lahat naman biyaya. At pag nawala, maybe even yung pagkawala is a gift. No? Baka God means na to live something na simpler or maybe not without that. So the mindset na it's always in God's hands. Yung outcome at our age is about meaning. At ang reason, magkaiba kasi yung meaning sa happiness. You can watch that TED Talk, parang what is beyond happiness? And the answer is meaning. Hindi happiness talaga. Sabi nga sa TED Talk niyo, the more you aim for happiness, the more you will become unhappy. At ang pinakasagot talaga kahulugan, meaning. And then yung reason, iba-iba yung dahilan natin, iba-iba yung situation natin. Pero yung pinaka-evidence, the final proposition sa evidence, let the evidence be your emotions. The more you feel you are at peace, that's a proof, that's an evidence you're having the right reason and you're on the right track. Basta payapa ka. Kahit kulang ang pera, kahit limited, basta payapa ka, that's an evidence you're on the right track. So on that note, I'd like to just say thank you. Salamat uli kay Almi. Si Almi ang instrument for bringing us all together. And sabi nga namin ni Flora, nakakatuwa na meron tayong session na ganito na makahinga, makashare, makita kayo, makumusta, at ma-enrich with input. So let's try to block off our second Saturdays ng 9 to 10:30, mga ganyan, para lang magbabaginan. So salamat, Almi. I'd like to turn over the floor to
Third Saturday, Prof.
Sabi ko third, ano ba narinig nyo? Baka
Second.
kasi sabi ko third, ano ba narinig nyo? Kung iba narinig nyo, beyond 60 na yan. No?
Choppy ba? Choppy?
Salamat. Third Saturday.
Third Saturday. I would like really to thank everyone then for Professor Xavier for really putting us, kumaga tinatahin niya rin pa rin yung ating buhay-buhay sa pandemyang ito, sa mahabang panahon ng Yuppeace. And thank you also for answering yes. Ika nga, kung hindi rin naman kayo nag-yes, these special people na to, we would not be successful or even more enriching for each one of us. I love doing this for calling you, texting you, PM you. Kumbaga, sabi nga ni Prof kanina, baka simula pa rin naman ng Yuppeace bilang house, ano ba ako noon, cell head, house head, presidente, parang or EVP, yung pagtatawag o yung, ito, kayo yung mga anak ko na, ika nga. And thank you for this thing, ika nga po, for making our third Saturday meaningful and enriching, a friendly meet-up, ika nga po. No matter how senior we would be already, ika nga po. Siguro paramihan na tayo ng puting buhok in the next few Saturdays, ika nga po. Prof, I will end the
Picture
muna. Sige, picture muna. Wow, nakarating na yata si Prof sa La Union.
Almi,
Yes, sir.
habang nagpipicture, pwede pa ba mag-share ng isa
Sige,
lang?
go.
Yes,
Oo,
go.
we
Go,
still have
Vince.
time.
Share ka
Go,
muna.
Vince.
Marami
Sige
tayong
po.
Ano yung kanina, di ba? Yung pumasok yung needs and wants. Yung natutunan ko dito, I also learned it from a life coach or a financial advisor. Yung need naman, hindi na yung pinag-uusapan. Need nga kailangan. Pero pagdating dun sa want, meron siyang sinabi na nag-stuck sa akin at ginagawa ko. Sabi niya, meron kang savings, maliit man yan o malaki. Pag meron kayong wants, ikaw mismo tignan mo. Pag kukurot ka dun sa iyong savings, okay lang yun. Pero kung dadakot ka, mag-ipit ka muna. Kasi pag dinakot mo, mauubos yung savings. Pag-ipunan mo muna para by the time nakaipon ka, kukurot ka na lang. Yun lang po. Kurot at dakot.
Tama.
Ganda. Okay.
Thank you, Vince.
Picture.
Wait lang, bago ka na mag-picture, can we hear words naman for others? Liz Fernandez.
Yes.
Picture muna tayo.
Picture daw. Sige.
kasi
Open your
para-
cameras, please. Put on your
para-
cameras.
Ano lang,
Sige.
kwentuhan na
Tapos
lang.
kwentuhan tayo after. Picture
Okay.
taking.
Teka,
Okay,
nawala
iba.
ako. Teka, nawala ako.
Smile everyone.
Dito
Prof,
si Tita O.
Prof, La Union ka na, Prof.
Nawala ako.
Ayan.
Wala ka
okay
pa.
na. Wala ka pa.
Marilu.
Wala pa.
Ayan na. Si Lu, eto na. Olive, wala ka pa. Tita O, wala ka pa.
Teka.
Pinky,
Nawawala
tsaka
ako.
Ate Liz.
Miss Binky.
Okay. Ayun, nawala ulit. Dumating nawala. Si Ate
Nawala.
Tito. Yan.
Si Liz.
Okay. Wala.
Okay lang.
Okay. Okay. Ready? 1, 2. Hindi. 1, 2. Tatsyempo ako si Tita O. Yan. 3.
Yan.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Sige. Thank you.
Thank you,
God
Prof.
bless.
X. Enjoy your holiday, your weekend. O sige, anyone can share. You can put on your cameras or your mic. Say hi to everyone. Oh, nahiya bigla.
Hides. Bakit si Hides ano?
What about me?
Sige, say hi.
Lumalabas yung picture mo eh. Ibig sabihin may gusto ka sabihin.
Hindi. Hindi, siguro ano.
Sige po, kamustahan?
I-share ko na lang. Alam ni Ate Feto, we have, after retirement, I have joined a company called IMG, International Marketing Group. Our mission is basically what is our topic today, financial literacy. So, in fact, si Liz gusto kong ipa-join. Liz?
Alam mo, ang dami na nag-recruit sa akin, Hides. The problem is, sorry kasi si BJ, yung anak ko, is with AXA. Kinukuha rin ako ni BJ for AXA. Inaayos lang namin yung kasi na-promote siya to siya yung nag-handle ngayon ng national training nila eh. So, kaya medyo rin inaayos namin. Kaya meron din ako mga friends, kinukuha ako, hindi ako makapasok kasi syempre unahin ko yung sa anak ko.
Of course, oo, naintindihan ko.
Hope you understand. Sorry.
Oo. So yung kasi we teach nga that for us to be financially independent, we need to have a solid